Hey YouTubers, today we are at VidCon here and I have Ryan and Eric with me today, and we were having a really great discussion about watch time today, and I would like to share that a little bit with you. Watch time, usually we realized, right, it is talked about in a very generic way. I mean, every channel niche needs a different way to increase watch time. For example, what channel do you do, Ryan?
So I generally do commentary, satire.
So that's pure entertainment, for example. But Eric, what are you doing?
So my channel is automotive content. I do reviews, I do features on cars, and it's also like pretty entertainment oriented.
Basically the best mix here. Mine is a pure how-to channel. I should have a little bit more entertainment, don't you think? But I don't do much. And you have real entertainment, you have how-to and entertainment mixed. And so when we are talking about watch time, there are different techniques to talk about to increase the watch time. And one most important thing, you mentioned it earlier, what do we have to do in order to give our video even a chance to have a high watch time?
So I think the most important thing when I'm looking for a video that's going to do well is we want to find a topic that is of really, really high interest to people and that there's not a lot of videos on already.
If it's not an interesting topic, then we can't even start about doing a video. People won't be interested. For example, you recently choose a video topic that is a really good idea. Eric, you mentioned jumping on trends. You did recently one that was a good start, but then maybe not the best choice, we can say?
Yeah, no, so Fortnite is big if you kids are out there watching. I'm sure you've played it and your parents are probably quite annoyed by that. But so basically I found a trend. I found something that if I made a quick video on, a lot of times trends they happen fast. You don't have a lot of time to get something out to have an effective result. So I saw this trend about Fortnite mobile when it was launching. I decided, what the heck, I'm gonna jump on it. However, you also need to think about what the audience expects from that video, and that is where I failed. They expected information on the mobile app and how to sign up, and I did deliver to an extent, but I didn't get into depth about anything. And because my channel is more entertainment based, pretty much solely entertainment based, they weren't looking for someone making fun of Fortnite. They were looking for someone telling you how to be efficient at signing up for the new app.
Absolutely, and I think if you want to check it out, click this card here. It is a really fun video. But you know, if people expect something different, then the video can be perfect and set up for great watch time, but people are the judges of that, right? And considering that, there's also one important other part in improving the watch time, and that certainly is editing. For example, you recently did a video that is really great in editing. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I did a video on the Devil 16, which is a car made in Dubai, but it's not out yet. So there's a lot of high interest in the video, but there's not a lot of information. So to make the video interesting and to keep people watching, we use a lot of jump cuts in the video. We use a lot of interesting transitions. We use a lot of, not necessarily effects, but we basically keep the video moving by keeping the pace up. So that can mean talking quickly, it can mean cutting out the pauses in the video, it can mean a little zooming in, like all kinds of little things, little techniques that aren't necessarily noticeable right away, but they kind of keep the viewer watching because you're keeping the interest up through editing.
Yeah, and we know a really great video happens in the editing, but it can't happen if you don't have a good story at first, right? So it was quite interesting, Ryan. You explained me when you write your stories, and those two guys, by the way, work together in writing the stories for their videos. You wrote a story for Eric's video. Talk a little bit more about that, how you unfolded the story you had in there.
So I think something that's really important when it comes to writing, and a lot of the technical stuff when it comes to retention and keeping the viewer interested comes in the writing as well, is to build the story by building suspense. So you don't want to give all of the information or all of the story away at one time. You want to give them little tidbits, and then you want to kind of you want to feed them slowly so that they want to find out what happens at the end. So if you can build suspense in your video through the writing, I think that's a great way to help not only build your overall watch time, but develop great audience retention, which in turn builds your watch time as well.
That's a really good point, and you also have to consider in which context you're using this. And we have to know, in this video in particular, it was about the car that is not yet released.
So Ryan and I work on our videos together. So this car, the Devil 16, it's not out yet. It's been rumored, and there's a lot of interest in the video. Sorry, there's a lot of interest in this car. A story about this car, again, trying to keep up the interest through using a sense of mystery, like Ryan just talked about in the video. So I developed a little story around the car using techniques to sort of tease a little bit of what was going on in the story at the beginning, and then a little bit of evidence, and then tease a little bit more and a little bit more evidence until we finally reached a conclusion about 5 or 6 minutes into the video, which basically explained my theory on the car. But I kept teasing that out through the video to kind of keep the interest up and keep the retention of the video up, and it worked pretty well actually. That video now has 360,000 views on it.
Oh, excellent. That's really a great job. Well done. Yeah, I think if you want to check that out as a really good example to build that suspense, and in particular imagine the audience wanting to know more about that car they just heard about and don't know much about it, in that mindset, watch that video. Here's the card. It's really a good example to inspire you to improve your watch time as well in your particular niche. So thank you very much for being on my show. Where can we find you, Ryan?
You can find me at youtube.com/c/Crimson Studios.
And you?
I'm at youtube.com/RevMatchTV.
Really great channels. So cheers, guys.